And we have breaking news in Northeast Harris County. Our TransStar cameras, that's what you're looking at right now. They show a crash in the eastbound lanes of Beltway 8 and Highway 90A. This is a two-car crash scene that is blocking all but one lane of traffic. Again, this is a breaking news event. We'll bring you those updates as soon as we get them. Big news today from the Federal Reserve, the central bank deciding to raise interest rates by 0.25 percentage point. The decision coming in the aftermath of two regional bank failures, the takeover of international banking giant Credit Suisse by UBS, and a chaotic couple of weeks on Wall Street. ABC's Lindsay Watts is in Washington with more on the impact of today's announcement. Every day, we are learning something new about space. Researchers with Japan's space agency detected organic molecules in samples from two locations on an asteroid near Earth. They found uracil, which is one of the building blocks of RNA. They also found vitamin B3. That's important for the metabolism in living beings. These two molecules have been found in meteorites that landed on Earth. The findings support the theory that the building blocks of life originated in space and were brought to Earth billions of years ago by meteorites. David, that is pretty cool.
It is.
That's super.
Finally, some confirmation.
Maybe there is life out there. And I know that you may not be an expert on space, but you do know what's going on in the atmosphere.
Yeah, closer to Earth.
A little closer to home.
Not too far out in the lowest, 60,000 feet or so is where I like to ride.
A lot to look at there, David. Thank you. An update now to a strange story a lot of you read about on our website back in January. We now know why a Rutgers University graduate from South Korea allegedly tried to pose as a high school student. 29-year-old Hae-jong Chin pled not guilty this week to charges related to false documents and hindering her own persecution. Prosecutors say she enrolled in a New Jersey high school. She only lasted a week before the school discovered her birth certificate was fake.
It was more of an issue of her returning to a sense of feeling and belonging and acceptance in a country where she's separated from her family.
Police had earlier said they found no evidence that Chin had any intentions to harm any students or staff. 4 sailors survived being sunk by a whale. The friends were on their ship on the middle of the Pacific Ocean when they heard a loud bang. A crew member saw a whale gushing blood and soon realized that it had collided with their boat. Whale experts say that this was likely an accident.
They can sometimes be coming up very quickly to get a breath of air, and if there's a boat in the way, this type of accident can occur.
The damage to the ship caused it to sink, and the crew was forced to jump into a lifeboat. But thanks to GPS tracking in their emergency supplies, they were rescued in 10 hours. The famous rattlesnake roundup in the Texas town of Sweetwater was held this month, but there's now growing criticism over how the snakes are collected and treated at the event. Each year, the nonprofit Sweetwater JC hosts roundup. Thousands of pounds of rattlesnakes are hunted and rounded up on the second weekend of March. This is when venomous snakes are emerging from their dens to breed in the spring. People put gas into the snake den to get them to come out into the open so that they can be captured.
Putting gas in the den? What about everything else that's in the den? Even if you hate rattlesnakes with all your heart, there's all these other things that they share their dens with. It harms the environment,
That rattlesnake expert and research scientist said roundups where snakes are killed display a lack of humanity for the reptiles. At the roundup exhibits, rattlesnakes are skinned and milked for venom. This video from Kashmir shows the moment an earthquake hit as doctors were performing a C-section delivery. Doctors performed the surgery while their equipment was trembling and the lights went out. You can see it in the video there. The doctors say that both the mother and the baby are doing just fine. We'll be right back with another look at our top stories.